is on. Alright guys, welcome. We're just going to be doing a quick review of Forex, how I trade it, the steps I use to trade it. If you've been here for the last couple weeks, well, last 2 weeks since we've started kicking live chat back into action, you'll see I found one of the two indicators I wanted for y'all, basically, without babbling too much. I still need to find the higher high, lower low indicator that I use that doesn't put a mess all over the chart. Let's see. Okay, that's good. It's loaded. Okay, so we're going to first start off with well, the checklist, I guess. Okay, so number one is determine Forex steps once we see a trade line up. Now, we're not going to get into trades yet once we do, but let's get the steps down first, and then we'll look for a couple trades. If I have to, I'll bump to the 1 minute chart. Remember, 1 minute chart, not as stable. But first, let's go through the steps. So our first step is determine stop loss by using average candle size. So we were measuring the candles to determine average candle size. In the new indicator pack, which is the Dropbox thing, and if someone wants to repaste it, that's cool. It's up there in chat, but if someone's bored and wants to repaste it, that would be nice. We determine stop loss by using average candle size. Remember, our first step is always protect our money. We want to know what our stop loss is. So we were previously, to measure it, we push down the crosshairs, we drag it, we measure the candle, and it'd be about 8.4 pips. In the new pack, I put an indicator in there for you. And this is one of the ones that really got me in the practice of using it. It's called pip movements. This is one that I had written for myself too. So let's look at the candles. What do you see on the candles? I don't know if you can see it. If you can't, go full screen. We have numbers above and below the candles now. So, for instance, this one's 77. So what does that mean? Ooh, 7.7 pips. No longer have to measure, so you can take a quick glance, and it's already telling you the candle size, so you can determine quickly the average candle size. Let's go into the settings of the indicator. So if you're blind like me, you can increase the font size to 12. Point offset is how far above and below it does it. So if I do 30, it's going to move it even farther away from the candles. If you do like 10 or 5, it's going to move it damn near on top of the candles. Bars back. I'm only checking back 30 bars because that's about all I want to see. This thing can check every candle on your chart if you want, but we really don't need it. I'd say 30 candles back is good because that's what 30 times 5, 150. That's almost that's a little over 2 hours worth of chart history we get to see. So I made them bigger. Did that help so you can see them? Now let's look at the numbers. If it's single digit, that's 0.5, so that is half a pip movement. Double digits, 3.7, and if we get into triple digits, then that would be like 10, 11, 12 pips. So just so you know how to read it, this is not 25 pips, it's 2.5 pips. But this should make determining your average candle size pretty easy. Just with a little bit of basic math, you'll be able to see it. Everyone understand how to use that one? It's pretty simple. It is something that got me in the practice of looking at average candle size to see if anything was out of whack, too. Okay, so if... Oh, God, I do not want to cough again. Okay. Jesus freaking Christ. Okay, so if we look back on this one real quick, let's do it. I'm going to call out some numbers. 2.8, 2, 3.2, 3.7, half, 5.1, 1.6, 7.7, 4.3, 3.8, 1.7, 4.2. Basically, we're going up and down. We got a lot of tiny little candles. Remember, bank holiday, so let's not take this too serious. Let's hurry up, though. While we have this coming up, we might have somewhat of an opportunity. So let's just say, using this, we're going to go with our smallest possible trade off of 5 minute. We jump to our expert advisor. The expert advisor, I will drop in the indicator pack if it's not there yet. And you can go expert advisor properties, or you can just simply press F7. So we're going to set our stop loss to 5, not 6, 5 pips. Automatically, what does that give us for a take profit? Take profit is stop loss minus 2 bare minimum. So let's jump back. Change this to 10. Why is that important? That gives us a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio. What does that mean? Cool. Alan got it. 10. Okay, so our take profit stop loss is set. We still don't have an entry. What's our next step? Set up inlines with take profit. We're looking for 10 pips. So let's go to inlines. And remember, inlines is what shows you. It's set at 5 pips now. So let's go at 10. That would be 100 on this. That's going to show us a 10 pip take profit. Now, if we're actually taking this, the swing high, swing low is about 5.4 pips above. So, isn't going to be the perfect trade here. But if we get a close above this swing high, we're looking at it okay. We do not have a lot of momentum. We actually have a red cloud. But for the purpose of this, let's pretend this whole cloud is green and we do have momentum. Next, we need to figure out what our trade size is. Sorry, I didn't have that up. Set up inlines, done. So now we know where our target is by using the L line. Determine trade size. I'm running through a trade real quick, then we're going to go back through it step by step for any of the new people. So if you're confused, don't worry. So next we need to figure out. We know what our take profit is. We know what our stop loss is. We are on which pair? I don't even know anymore. AUD USD. So let's go to AUD USD. AUD USD. Account balance. What do we want our account balance at today? Let's say $250. Risk percentage. This is where you pick out what percentage of your account you're willing to risk. Let's say we're going to do 3% today. Stop loss in pips is 5. Calculate. So, mini lots 1, micro lots 1 is 15. What does that translate to? It means you come over here and it is 0.15, not 1.15. Shit, that'll be way out of whack. All that just to get, what did we just do? Okay, so it's 0.15 up here. Where am I getting that from? Is micro lots. I go away with your freaking commercial. So 0.15 microlots. This gives us proper money management, which is going to be the most important thing you can do. As mentioned previously, there are some EAs out there that do it, but I'm trying to get you in the habit of thinking of this step by step by step so you don't screw it up. If you follow these steps step by step and you can halfway trade, meaning 50% of the time you're right, you're going to break even. Binary options, we're looking at what, 60% with a 70% payout. So Forex is actually a bit easier. Let's see. I will link. You don't need this link. You just need the document link. So let's see. Some of you already have this, but if you're new, copy link. That's the link to the document. Now, if you consistently follow this little, whatever, template, plan, step by step, then it's pretty easy. We're going to talk about the last step is wait for the trade, make sure it has room to run. Plus, we're going to talk about what kind of trades we get into. Hopefully, y'all like this one right here. I did forget to link the expert advisor, so let me do that real quick and drop that in. If you refresh the Dropbox, it's going to have the expert advisor in it. Wait. File. No. I swear to God, my body knows when I'm having a webinar because I get sick, start coughing. Experts, auto stop, copy, Dropbox, mosquito bite. Where is it? Itchy 2015. Paste. Okay, so autostop2.ex4, that's in the folder now. So if you refresh it or go back into that Dropbox, that's your EA. And it's synced in green check mark, so it's in there. So you have everything that I have in there. The first two files, I don't know what order they're going to be, but autostop and itchy are your TPL. The rest of them, you just do it. God, that's going to sound good on recording. Let me get a drink of water. And then we'll look. We'll switch to 1 minute if we need to find something. And so we can try follow our checklist and run through a couple of these. Okay, so where was I other than coughing in y'all's ear? Auto stops on. I have no idea where I was. Let's flip through the charts real quick. So let's go back here. 10 template, itchy fun. You notice I have these set kind of close on top. You can adjust the holidays. Give me some. Somebody said there's something wrong with the link. Good lord, I might have to pause if I keep coughing. Okay, so back to where we were. I don't know where we were because that coughing fit just whacked me out of everything. Okay, so what are we looking for when we're trading itchy? Step 1 is momentum up. We have our steps once we find a trade of what we're going to do, and hopefully we'll run through a couple. These are our steps. Let's look for a couple trades and see what we can find. Momentum up's the number one thing we're looking for, or momentum down. All we have is momentum up here. Our entry kind of would have been this candle here. Looking back on it, I don't really want to do too much looking back because then people say you don't know what the hell you're doing. Let's see if we can find a live trade. If there isn't any, like I said, we'll switch to 1 minute and I bet we can find something. Okay, so let me switch to 1 minute and we'll zoom in a little bit on each chart. No red all the way down. We'll come back to that one. That might be a possibility just to look at for the hell of it. If you're not familiar with itchy, oh my god, this is horrible. If you're not familiar with itchy, then there is a walkthrough on the forums, and I'll post that with the video once it's up. Let's zoom in 1 minute. This one might have a... we missed it. If we have to, we'll come back to this one, and we'll do the setup off this one. But I'm switching to 1 minute on all the charts to see if we can find any setups for y'all, because I'd prefer to do it live. It makes more sense to me if I do it live than if we do it after the fact. After the fact's just too easy. Well, it's not that it's easy, it's just... I don't know, I just prefer to do it live. Okay, so while we're looking, this one might be a potential. Let's go through the indicators real quick if you're new. We're using Ichimoku, standard settings. You can change the colors to whatever you want, 9, 26, 52. If you don't know Ichimoku, if you don't know Itchy, not even going to try and say it anymore. It's one of those days, and I'm just going to look like an ass. If you don't know it, I will post a walkthrough. It is I wouldn't say simple, but it's not difficult either. The names normally toss people off, and in the walkthrough I did, I changed the names to Timmy, Krabs, and Casper, and the Cloud. So if that's all you have to be able to remember. New market info dark. This is up here. It gives us our spread, daily high, daily low, candle will close in, so it has a candle timer built into it. The rest of this crap you can ignore. When a trade is open, it will tell you how many pips in profit or loss it is. Orders indicator. This comes from the marketplace. It is not in your indicator pack. I cannot put it in there because it comes from the marketplace. It is free. Let's go through how to get it real quick. If you do not have it open, all you have to do is click up here where it says terminal. Go to market. And once you go to market, let's make it a little bigger so you can see it. Well, not bigger, but taller. However, up here, applications tab, you will have to have an account. It's free to get one. Just register. You can click the register button here. You will go to free. Type in ORD orders, if I could spell. ORDERS. Yep. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth one over from the top, it's going to say orders indicator. It's the black one with green and red candles with little lines on it. You just click it, and once you've registered, you'll have a download button at the top right of your terminal window. Not this window down here. I'm going to click a couple times because on Bandicam it will show where I'm clicking. You have a download button here. Just download it and it will appear then. If you go to Navigator, that's the little button up here. It will appear in Market Orders Indicators. It will not appear in your normal file. It's going to be in Orders Indicate. It's going to be in Market. It's free. Grab it. It's great. Okay, so that covers that. Next, indicators list. Inlines. Now, inlines, I showed how to use it real quick, but I didn't describe what it is. Inlines, let's... Come on, no more coughing. Inlines plots however many pips you tell it away from price. What this is for is so that you know if your trade has room to run in the direction you want it to. I'll explain that in a little bit. So we have right now 50 equals 5 pips. If I put in 5, it would be half a pip, or if I put in 10, it's 1 pip. So right now this is telling me that 5 pips away is there and there from price. You can change the color of the line. You can change the line style. You can only make it thicker or fatter if it's solid. If it's anything else, this number will not work. If I put it solid in 2, this way y'all can see it better. There we go. So here's price and here's 5 pips. So we have, right now we have, if it breaks below here, we might have a trade south, even though we don't have momentum. I just want to show it. So let's take a look again. What do we have here? Let's look at our numbers. 1, Jesus Christ, 10, 11, 1.5, and 0.8, 1, 0.7, 1. So these are tiny ass little candles. Remember, we're on the 1 minute. Let's go to our checklist. Determine stop loss by using average candle size. Our average candle size is shit. It's 1 to 2 pips or less. We're going to go again with the minimum. I will do a bare minimum. We have a 5 pips puts us all the way down here. Just for the hell of it, let's do, how about 3 and 6? That's not the best. And again, on 1 minute charts, this gets all out of whack, but I want to show it. So our next step, Expert Advisor, Properties, or F7. Next step, stop loss is going to be 3 pips. Take profit is double that, 6. And that's still too much movement south to get a 2 to 1, but we're just going to ignore that for the fact now. Okay, so we've gotten our stop loss in. Next we adjust inlines to see where does 6 pips put us. It's going to be way out of whack, but just so you can see the process as we go. Okay, so there's 6 pips down and up. We are looking for a trade to the south. If we're realistically looking, did it have room to run? Once it broke here, our first goal would be here. It's about 2.1 pips down. Next one is 3.8, and then it's clear. So it does have 2 minor bumps to get through. Again, we're on 1 minute, so we're just showing the process of getting into the trade. Momentum's not great, but we want to go through. We have it set. Now we need trade size set. So what do we do for trade size? Let's go look at trade size. This is USD JPY. Let's see if I can find it. USD JPY. We'll do account balance of $100. Let me see real quick. That did close below, so let's go ahead and get in the trade. We're just going to do just to get in. We'll go back to size, 0.0. Let's do 0.05 and sell. Spread is 0.2, 0.1. We just took a sell. Now, is price going to drop all the way down to there? Realistically, hell no. But I wanted to get into a trade so we can finish up what we're doing. So that's our first trade for the day. This is not live, guys. Do not mimic my trades right now. I'm just showing the process you need to go through for each trade. Risk percentage. Let's do a 5%. Stop loss in pips was 3. Enter a valid number, 119.393. Calculate. Okay, so the little difference here is when you use this one, you will need to take the price and dump it in. Okay, so micro lots, mini lots 1, micro lots 19. So where does the 19 go? And how do we use that? It goes in here. So what we should have been using would have been 0.19 for correct money management. Okay, so let's look at the trade that we got into, though. Orders indicator, right here. Remember, this is the EA kicks in. This is our stop loss. This is our take profit. If this thing hits, I'll be laughing, but I really don't think it's going to move. Well, 6 pips isn't that much. But the average candle size here tells me that if it drops down 6 pips, it'd just be kind of odd. We got the bell in 13 minutes. Who knows? Okay, so, anyway, stop loss is automatically set for us. Take profit's automatically set for us by the EA by what you punched in. So if you do not see these red lines on here, a couple things could be wrong. Do you have a happy face? If not, click auto trading. Turn it on. If you also don't have a happy face, we want to go into the Commons tab, make sure that everything here is checked, especially allow live trading. My mouth is drying out. Hold on. Okay. Those are most likely the 2 things that you have wrong. So let's just hit cancel so don't mess anything up. Now, other than that, the thing to remember is we don't move our take profit unless you completely screwed up on your calculations and you notice as you're sitting here looking at this that you said, Jesus Christ, my stop loss is out of whack. I don't recommend doing it unless you go over here and recalculate based off your new stop loss what you're willing to lose. Otherwise, leave it what you put in. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. So, any questions so far? Do you think the little... Because measuring turns into a pain in the ass. Remember, if we go into the indicator, let's make it bigger. The new one that I added in is pip movement. And let's change font size to 20 so you can really see the numbers. I have it 20, point offset 15, which puts it right above and below the candle. Let's do 30 just to move it away so you can see it a little clearer. And bars back, I'm only doing 30. So on a 1 minute chart, we're looking 30 back. Now they should be nice and big for you. So remember, these candles are tiny. I mean, this isn't even a full pip. 1.2 pips, 2.3 pips, half a pip. These are some tiny, tiny ass candles going on. 2.8's been our biggest one yet in the last 30. But we're going to basically, what you're looking for is to take an average of what you see on the chart. If you only want 15 on here, that's fine. But you want to be able to quickly look and say 2.8, 1.3, blah, 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 add them up. The average for these is probably like 2 or 3. That's why I took a 3 pip stop loss. We double that stop loss. That's 3 pips. We double the stop loss to take a 6 pip profit. We always want a 2-to-1 risk-reward ratio, meaning that you can lose 50% of the time, and as long as you're right 1 out of 3 times, you take a full profit, you break even. So your odds are a lot better than binary options. I don't want to show trailing stop loss on this. We'll try and get into an oops, I fucked up trade so I can show trailing stop loss. Once your trade's open, the deal is you just leave it open. You don't mess with it. What I did want to show you is I took a couple trades last night. Today, one of the reasons I don't say trade Forex, your spread due to the bank holidays, it's 0.4. That's higher than normal for me. That's way higher than normal. What does the spread do to you? Let's take a look at some trades from yesterday. And hopefully you'll be able to see this. Okay, on this trade, and I didn't do anything fancy, what I did is I just took a trade because I wanted to show the spread. Okay, so here's the green line, right where my mouse is at. Let me see if I can mark this thing up. I think I'll be able to. Right here is the buy order. It was placed right here. My take profit on this trade was right here. So by this candle right here, just in case you can't see it, the wick on this candle is right here. As we can, well, you can't see it, but this trade is still actively running. This was a sell. What I'm trying to show is what happens with the spread and why trading on bank holidays is kind of stupid. This was a sell. I opened the trade here, and it was a sell. So price dropped down to here. It hit my take profit. It dropped all the way down to where this circle is. Why didn't my order close out? It was literally a good pip and a half. Spread did not get covered. Correct. So price moved back up again, and again price moved down to here, almost hit my take profit, and again it closed below my take profit. Now here's the orders indicator, and this is definitely going to show you what the spread will do. And this is why trading on bank holidays is, for me, in my opinion, it's stupid. Number one, for Forex it's stupid, but for binary options, when you have a big spread, where do they get their price from for binary options? It's bid plus ask divided by 2. So that means they have a shit ton of room to play with you on a bank holiday. But I'm going to draw a line. This circle here is where I open the order. This is where price currently is, or was. Now, the line that I'm going to draw is orders indicator showing where the actual price is according to it. So this line here, where it stops, because of the spread, price is here. It is not here. So this whole area here is just bullshit land because of the spread, it's actually up here. So I would actually need price to drop down to about here before this order could get closed out. So we see why on a bank holiday your spread's going to fluctuate. If you're trading binary options or Forex, it's just kind of dumb because you could have a normal spread. This spread was popping between 1.2 pips and down to 0.3 pips. Of course, every time it got near my take profit, it was freaking spiking back up, and price would be here, but where it was looking at to close the order would be up here. So everyone see how the spread can just basically screw you over. And again, with binary options, where do they get where do they get their price from? They take the spread into account. It's bid plus ask. So bid plus ask, and then price if you were trading binary options. So here's the red line, and here's price, and here's the red line. Your binary options price should be dead in the middle, but the broker could push binary options price from here to here to here to here. They have this whole area to play with when there's a large spread. So that's why trading when there's a large spread with binary options is kind of scary, because the brokers, if they wanted to, for them it's a wet fucking dream, because their risk management systems have so much play when it comes into here. They got this much room to play with. So if you're in a trade, $1,000 for instance, and their risk management system says we have too many people winning this trade, and the spread's huge, they can say, well, screw them all, dump it down to the bottom of this price so that all these people's entries here. And look at this line. This is not a small candle bit. This is a big chunk. So let's say I took a call here. Price ended up here. Because of the spread, they could push it all the way down to here and say, nope, you lost that shit. Even though I got a nice green candle, because of spread, they could, if they wanted to, dump price anywhere from here to here. So this whole candle is basically null and void unless they want to be nice and play fair. If they don't want to play fair, if you're trading binary options, price could be anywhere in this candle. This candle envelops almost the whole thing. So it could be anywhere, according to the binary options broker, and they would quite literally be correct. They could say when it closed, the spread, it was at 0.6, so price was below where you entered. Sorry, tough luck, suck it up, and thank you for the $1,000. I'm out of water, but I'm recording, so I can't get up. I did a couple of the trades, in case you want to see a clean shot. I did a couple shots of this. Again, it's the same exact one, but here's price, and here's where MT4 says price is due to the spread, and here's my take profit. It's a nightmare trading with a spread. So today, as a bank holiday, I would definitely say be very careful. Everyone understand the spread as it works with Forex and with binary options then. Any questions on it? Remember, part of the reason I wanted to get up and do this video is because when I caught this last night, I thought it'd really be good to show for both binary options and Forex traders. Because anyone who knows me, on a bank holiday, I'm like, screw you, I'm out. I just will not trade on it. I've gotten, even with Markets World, they're pretty fair, but I've gotten my ass handed to me on a bank holiday. And not because I'm taking bad trades, because I'm like, what the hell, that was a win, and nope, it wasn't. Okay, so what happened to this trade? It is still open. How do we know? Up here, it's 1.9 pips. Order indicator still shows it down. We have not hit our stop loss. Pretty much nothing great about this trade, like I said. It's got a little bit of downward momentum forming Do we think it's going to hit 6 pips? Probably not, but I wanted to show you the trade. This was our entry point. Why was this our entry point? Let me zoom in. Actually, here, let me just take a picture and I can draw on it since we're doing that today. Okay, so with Ichi, we're looking for momentum plus a breach of a swing high, swing low. Just because it comes out of the cloud is not an entry. So if we're looking at this one, a lot of people would have jumped in the trade on this candle. Because this candle came out of the cloud, whoop-de-doo, let's jump in and we're ready to go. No, the reason we didn't jump in on it in this one is we were waiting for price to close below this swing high. So if we look, this was our candle that broke the swing high. This was our entry candle. Why are we waiting on a breach of a swing high, swing low with momentum? Because even on this shitty trade that we took, look, it dropped right away for us, came back up, and it's probably going to drop a bit too because we still got momentum. It's in somewhat of a range. We're going red, green, red, but on a higher time frame, we would have had plenty of room. Remember, we're on the 1 minute time frame, so we don't have much room to move with. Let's take a look. It's almost hitting its 6 pips because it's rinse and repeat, guys. Broke structure breakout. Perfect. Can you see, guys? Some of you have been watching me for 2 weeks now. Can you see how these are just... There's nothing really difficult about these trades. If you're making sure it has room, if you're just not getting carried away, waiting for the setup, even this shitty 1 minute chart is almost panning out for us. I do, and I'm going to say it again. If you're learning it, get in your repetition on the 1 or 5 minute chart. Get in like 300 trades before you bump up. Once you go live, stick with the 15 minute to the 1 hour. 5 minute is a possibility. I would not have said that. Like, I don't trade the 5 minute, but since I've been showing it to y'all, I've actually been doing okay on the 5 minute. So 5 minute might be an option, but I would say honestly use the 1 minute chart to get your repetition in. You just need to start being able to recognize and get your work done. I prefer hourly charts. Okay, so here's how I trade on a daily basis. 15 minute charts if I'm bored and I want to stare at charts. Hourly charts if not, and I would just come check them on the hour. But if I'm just sitting around like I do bins for 2 hours a day. And here we go, 0.5, 0.3. The spread is here. Look, guys, we hit take profit. See the red line above? Here, let me change indicate properties. Let's make price a different color. I'm going to change price to pink. And ask to aqua. See if we can see it. Okay, can you see the pink and blue lines now? Pink is the price and aqua is ask. It hit my take profit. Yes. Okay, so I prefer hourly charts. Reason being is I don't have to stare in front of the damn computers. Hourly is nice because about 10 to 15 minutes before the end of the hour you can go look. Because if you're following the rules of Ichi, you're waiting for a candle close anyway. It'll keep you out of trouble. But hourly charts do get boring and some days there are no setups, so you can jump to the 15-minute chart. So I will have a 15-minute and a 1 hour chart running. Hell, I might even start on binary since I trade binary options on the 5 minute. I'm most likely going to start dual trading both because I like the fact that I can just have both open and trade binary options for 2 hours and getting some quick scalps too. So what's the idea again? Getting back to the 1 minute chart. Did that answer your question on how I trade? 1 hour charts for every day. 15 minute when I'm bored and want to feel like looking at the charts, and 5 minute might be a possibility in the future. So on these live chat things, we'll have something to do on 5 minutes. We'll have trading access and we can have some 5 minute scalps. The idea for y'all though is get your repetition in and get used to following these steps. If you cannot follow these steps, and I preached about this last week, if you can't follow these steps, you're not going to have metrics to judge your performance on. You have to be able to judge your performance. You have to mark your charts to see your trades. That's pretty much it. Let's take a look and see if we can find a couple live trades. This one, and again, what I was saying is, even on the 1 minute, is this shit always going to work out for us? No. But you will honestly start to, and some of y'all you've been in here before, when I'm saying, okay, the next candle is going to drop. 6 months ago, I would have been a little iffy on saying that, but I've been doing this live now for 16, 17, maybe 18 months. I'm somewhere between 16 and 18. Don't you put stop loss? Okay, let's talk about that. Stop loss to break even as soon as you can. On this case, no. I have a nice trade set up. I'm going to let it run. When I do use a trailing stop is when I screwed up on a trade. If I get a bad entry, if I forgot there was news, then I will, because then I'm in protect my ass mode. So I'm going to go ahead and close this trade out instead of using a trailing stop loss, and we'll see if we can get a bad entry, and then we'll show how to go into protect our ass mode and see if we can do it. Okay. Actually, let's say it's U.S. Open just happened. I said, shit, U.S. Open. This is a good example, I guess. I should have closed this before U.S. Open. It's too late. But here, let's do trailing stop. So we open it up. We do trailing stop. I'm going to do 30 points. Let's see if we can get out of this trade. I should have exited here 2 minutes ago. So I should have exited out on this candle. I should have exited out back here a little bit. Okay, so what did I do real quick? So I just realized U.S. Open. What am I doing? I'm still in a trade. I need to get out of that trade. I put in a trailing stop of, let's just do 1 pip, which is our emergency. Trailing stop, 1.5, that'll be fine. So I did a 15 point or 1.5 pip trailing stop now because I want to get out of this trade because U.S. Open, I was stupid, I didn't get out, should have got out. So let's watch what happens with price. Let me remove, what the hell is that? It's a sell limit. I don't even know how I did that. Delete. I must have right-clicked the chart. Let's remove the indicators. Let's see. What am I doing? Let's take inlines off. We're just going to take everything off so we can see what's going on here real quick. Okay. Here was my take profit. Here's my stop loss. I'm sorry. Here's my take profit. Here's my entry. Here's my stop loss. This was a sell. Karam asked about the point about this. About stop loss. I don't use a stop loss unless I screwed up, or I don't use a trailing stop loss unless I screwed up. So in this case, U.S. Open was coming. I was busy bullshitting with y'all. I should have closed it out a few minutes before U.S. Open, but I didn't, and now we can see the sentiment is reversing. So I'm kind of screwed in my trade. If we can get one drop down a few pips, we might be able to salvage this trade and not be in the negative. How's that going to happen? We right-click, go to trailing stop. I'm doing the bare minimum I can really to break even on this one, which I think is about 15 points or 1.5 pips. So I selected that. You can also right-click here and do trailing stop and select it. I selected the buy order. The sell order, I'm sorry. So what happens if price drops down to right here? It's going to move my stop loss to the sell point, and which should hopefully save my ass if this was a real trade. So do we see how we can use a trailing stop to try and save our ass? Now, if you have more room, let's say I realized here, I could have done a 3 pip trailing stop, and it would have gotten me out here, and I would have had a little bit more money. But by the time you set it and I got it in, this candle had spiked. So this was a good example of, oh shit, let's see if we can trade it. Now, do I want to, since we realize we're in a bad trade, the first thing we can also do is bring this down. But watch what's going to happen. We're almost there. Minus the spread. It's a half a pip spread, so that's a bitch. That's 1.5. If it drops half a pip, this is going to automatically get moved to here, and we're going to be locked in for a little profit. You could also, if it's a no shit moment, we're locked in. Just close it out. There's a bunch of things you can do for a no shit moment. Trailing stop I prefer, because you never know. Maybe this is going to spike all the way down. Okay, trailing stop's kicked in. So now, who gives a shit what happens? It's trailing by 1.5 pips. If the thing drops a little bit, great. Every time it drops, it's going to lock in a little bit more cash. Right now, off of a point... What'd I do? Point something. What was the trade size on this? 0.05. We're locked in a whole 25 cents right now. But let the trailing stop do the work for you. Who knows? Maybe price... Because this was a half-decent trade. U.S. sentiment kicked in. Maybe it's not gonna. Who knows? But what if it just spikes out down like it did on here? We're gonna get locked in for a little bit more and a little bit more profit. It's all about, I mean, deciding what you're comfortable with. I was already prepared to take a 3 pip loss. So if I take the 3 pip loss, fuck it. I was prepared for it. But that was a mistake on my part. I should have gotten out here. So then you can go into oh shit mode, or you can just let it ride. But I typically would say if you go into oh shit mode, turn a trailing stop on. See how our trailing stop is now following. It's moving with price downwards. So it's a nice way to do an oh shit I screwed up and get it over with. So we've already locked in a little more profit. While it's doing that, we'll come back to it. Let's see what we got. Red cloud, price moving up. So that's a no-no. We don't have the momentum moving up. We had momentum moving up here. Jesus, we missed. That would have been a decent one. It's 1 minute. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, guys. We're almost done. If you have questions, guys, start typing them up, please. We're going to wrap things up here in a minute. If you want to see how we do this day to day, you'll have the indicator pack now. You have everything that I have to do this. Just come to live chat. It's binary options and it is Forex now, since we've had an interest in Forex. Oh, we didn't cover one thing. Indicators. You son of a bitch. Indicators list. And if you're not new, then this is not new to you. Ichimoku conditions. I only care when price comes out of the cloud, not because I'm going to take a trade, because it gives me an alert to get to the chart and look at it. So I use Ichimoku conditions. Only signal on closed candles. If you're on the 15-minute time frame, you could actually put this to false, especially if you're on the 5 or 1. You want to know as soon as it comes out so you can get to it. If you're on the 1 hour, I keep it at true. 9:26:52, so it mimics what's on your screen. You can do whatever colors you want here. Arrow size, I have it as big as it'll go. 5. I have everything set to false, but when price comes above or below the cloud, not the cow, the cloud. Price above, buy, below, sell, the cloud. Everything else is false. This has email alerts. I have mine set up for email so that I know when I'm doing hourly. You can enable pop-up alert, which is to true, so it pops up and tells you. Push notifications are in there also, so they can be sent to your phone. Okay, so let's take a look at charts real quick while we're seeing if there's any last-minute questions. Okay, so red, green, red, green, red. Let's take an honest look at this one as a setup. What do we see here? Do we have an upwards trend, downwards trend, or what's going on? When the colors are flipping back and forth, it's a range, and we don't really have a lot of momentum in one direction or the other. Template, fun. Here, let's zoom out a little bit on it. So, red, a little bit of green, red, green, red, green, red. We have somewhat of a range. What do I mean range? Price is going up, down, up, down. Remember, if we're in a range, do pullback trades through binary options. Works great. If we're in a trend trade the shit out of it and get your trades in. If you're with a trend and you're going with it with momentum and itchy, it just doesn't, it makes no sense to ignore it. Let's see, UJ. Let's take a look at it real quick. So far it's at 71 cents, but we're locked in even more. Look, we've already locked in a whole 1.1 pips. And it's still heading down. So that oh shit trade kind of is working out for us. But remember, we protected ourselves because we thought there might have been, I should have gotten out before the US Open. We've now protected ourselves, so we don't really give a shit what's going on with this trade anymore. We know we're going to make some money. Is it going to be our full thing? No, I don't know. Actually, who knows? But we're protected now. Let's go back to where we were. If it's ranging, you're going to see bullshit like this. It's going to come out of the cloud and reverse immediately. Come out of the cloud, reverse. You're never going to get your full you're never going to get your full run with momentum because there isn't much momentum in either direction. It's just bouncing back and forth like a ping pong ball bouncing down a pipe. Let's load up. This is UJ. I don't want to mess with it. Let's zoom out one here and see how it looks. Nothing really interesting today. Again, look at the spread too, though. Keep that in mind. We're at 0.5. That's 0.3 to 0.4 higher, and it's bumping up to 0.7, 0.8. So spread today is not helping us at all. Other than that, guys, I'm not really seeing too much. Does anyone have a chart they want to look at? If you have a chart up and you want to look at, type it in chat now. We can look at it. Otherwise, that pretty much wraps it up. It's just a quick intro. Remember, step by step by step. I will post up the links once I upload the video. Practice your steps on a 1-minute chart. Get them down so you don't screw them up. And then get your consistency down. Tomorrow we'll be back normal. It's not a bank holiday. I will post this up to YouTube, post it on the forums, and share the links to everything in case you came in late. Other than that, guys, have a good one. Remember, it is a holiday, so if you want to trade, demo trade it, practice. Yes, 300. I honestly say do 200 to 300 trades before you go live. Well, it depends. If you've been trading for a while, you could probably bump that to 150. But if you're on the 1-minute chart, you should be able to knock out 200 to 300 trades in literally probably 2-3 weeks, maybe 4. Yeah, I'm gonna be playing games later after I take a nap too. But other than that, guys, enjoy. Let me stop the recording.